Boy, oh boy, do sexy fictional female ladies upset a lot of people on the internet. And over the past couple of days, that has definitely been the case because, on one hand, we've seen Stellar Blade's PC port be announced, and people are really happy about the new outfits and the new boss fights. But we also have the first Descendant making waves because they showed off the hot springs, they've shown off all of the bikinis. And of course, while there are some people who've said, oh, the game's dead, it doesn't matter, we found out that that is exactly not the case because these saucy hot spring skins have saved the game from a quick death. But before I get into the topic, if you enjoy the content I create, check out the links in the description, join the community in my live streams, and consider supporting through Patreon or YouTube memberships. Now, obviously, when it comes to games, people start playing them when they release, and as time goes on, player counts dwindle. There are very few games that can stand the test of time and really never falter in player count, and First Descendant is one of them. After a couple of months of release, a lot of people moved away from it because at launch they had given it a chance and they were really excited about it. It was free to play, it had some really cool costumes, it had some good gameplay, but a lot of people just ended up moving on. Games have launched since then that have blown up in popularity, like Marvel Rivals. So people came, people went. This happens a lot with single-player titles too, where something like Dragon Age of Veilguard might have 89,000 people at release, but after you've played through it and you've completed the story, people aren't really going to return unless they want to do another playthrough, or there's DLC launching for a game like that. They gave up on it very quickly, but First Descendant has had pretty steady updates. We've gotten new characters and new costumes, and the latest update has drawn a hell of a lot of people back. This is a Video Gamer article. It says the First Descendant fans have a lot to enjoy. Following the release of update 1.2.7, Nexon has announced over a dozen free rewards for players to get, and fans can also purchase the very lavish hot spring skins for the game's ensemble of male and female supermodels. The new TFD costumes were highly anticipated, and Steam's bestsellers chart proves that the First Descendant hot spring skins are a massive success that has saved the game from a quick death. So following the release of the First Descendant hot spring skins, TFD moved up 82 positions in the Steam top sellers charts for the United States. This means it moved up from 93rd to 11th, where it is now just behind Apex Legends, which is an absolutely insane jump, especially where we didn't even find out about this Hot Springs update until not that long ago. Yes, we knew that they were going to do things like add Jiggle physics and that we were in for some new characters and costumes at some point soon, but they had announced it and then they very quickly had released it, and this has boded very positively for them. Rather than by player count, the chart documents the top 100 games on Steam by the highest amount of revenue, and this means the First Descendant players are splashing a good amount of money on the game store as the First Descendant is free to play. And interestingly enough, the player counts haven't really skyrocketed at all. This is a brand new update, so maybe over the next couple of days this could be the case, but as you can see, it's only really sitting at 10,000 people in-game right now and 12,271 for the 24-hour peak, and it definitely has gone up by quite a bit over the past couple of days as people have been highly anticipating this. But compared to when it launched 7 months ago at 264,000, yeah, I mean, it has kind of fallen off of a cliff, but the people that are purchasing these cosmetics are absolutely loving them, and it just goes to show that you can have a very small, dedicated fan base and still have a successful game. And this is why I say all the time, developers need to find their audience and defend them and make content for them and stand by them. Instead, we have BioWare's going out of their way and wasting a decade to make a title for the modern audience, and that modern audience doesn't even show up to monetarily support them or to play the trash they're creating. So really, they've pushed away the fans that they previously had, and they've made a game for virtually nobody. Developers need to find their audience and make content for them. And sure, I think as time goes on, we're going to see more people giving this update a chance because, again, it is brand new, but the fact that only 10 to 12,000 people made this happen is pretty bonkers. It also says while the United States is impressive, so too is global, where the first Descendant has moved up 85 positions from 99th to 14th, so it's not even just US gamers. There's also the UK, where it is 22nd and in the Steam top 100 sellers for the first time. Now, of course, we do know that the player count had dropped 95% from launch, which is pretty freaking bad. But again, people come, people go. It is what it is. It's fun. I personally thoroughly enjoyed my time with it, and I do go back for updates, but I am not the biggest fan of the monetization system. This is a problem with Nexon and also a lot of developers around the world, especially South Korean devs. They don't monetize their games super perfectly, that's for sure, and I still put a lot of time and effort into their titles, but I would much rather play something that I'm just paying an upfront cost instead of having to, shell out money for pay to win or never be able to catch up to the people who are doing that. Though people have been talking about this, of course, over the past couple of days, and everybody seems to be super freaking happy with it, talking about how this is really great and it's really fantastic, and they're just happy to see this game get a player bump. They're lucky that whales are keeping this game alive for now. Fan service is nice, but innovative content is what could bring in new players. Not sure if it will survive this year. I think that it will, but I do completely agree that whales are the ones that are keeping it alive, which is good for them, but they do need to go above and beyond with releasing a bunch more content. We don't really know how long of a roadmap they have internally, like if they have 2 characters planned or maybe they have 5 characters planned. Either way, though, I do think it would be super important for them to try to release those as quickly as possible. This game should also have a way to grind for more skins. Maybe they should think of adding 2 or 3 different fillers at once, make the end game really hard so that people have to think of the groups and what specs they need. I completely agree with this. The true end game content, I'll skip these and wait on the summer ones. They're too pricey. Each cost the same amount for the season pass subscription. The future of this game depends on whether the character's strengths can be brought up to par with the game. And then, of course, you just have gamers talking about the costumes in general, voicing how happy they are, which I completely agree. I've already made some videos on snowflakes melting down over this decision. Again, developers daring to listen to their fans. It's not even a game at this point. It's just a full-blown porn, which is absolutely ridiculous. And this person got ratioed 100k views, 343 comments to 8 likes. Nobody's really showing up to defend them. That great modern audience, guys, they're really holding, their own. They're definitely making waves within this industry. Definitely positive ones too, may I add. But we also saw journos kind of freaking out over this. The gamers already put up a hit piece talking about how, they dared to add sexy skins and about how it's basically super offensive. But I'm just happy to see that they're putting out new content, that people are enjoying it, and just another game doing really well. And for a game that has really fun combat to shoot back up on the player charts. Again, is this going to save the game? Is it going to turn things around? I don't necessarily think that it's going to mean, oh my god, they're, absolutely dominating right now. I'm definitely not saying that, but these saucy hot spring skins have certainly bought the game some more time, and a lot of people are very happy with the content that they've created. But that's all that I really had to discuss in this video. Let everyone know your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoyed this, give it a like, and if you didn't, give it a dislike. I appreciate your support either way, but I'll talk to you all again in the next video really soon.